What is up, Leo? This is going to be your November 2018 reading. My name is Camille, and you are watching Millennial Tarot. Before we get started, I am just letting everyone know that I am doing readings for $10. Any one question you have, let's talk about it. I'm also expanding my services into natal chart questions and readings. So those are going to be $20 for any one question you have based on where the planets were at the time of your birth, your cosmic fingerprints. How lovely, right? So that is it. That is all. I'm going to get into your reading. It's going to be a 3-card spread, past, present, future, clarifiers if needed. And we're going to see what's going on with Leo. I feel like I need to shuffle this way, so this is how I'm shuffling. And we'll see what comes up. Let me stop before I go into a complete trance. Lovely, 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 lovely. All right, Leo. Okay, seeking truth, seeking information. Bottom of the deck here is Major Arcana Pisces, the moon. The second sign to have that. Woo! Okay, coming into this reading with the Four of Cups, moving into this reading with Major Arcana Libra, kind of where we are as we begin. No, well, I guess I'm filming this in Libra season. Anyway, besides the point, that is the Justice card. And then we have here, this is the Knight of Swords, and as we spoke about earlier, anchoring your reading, is this moon. Okay. Who did you wrong? Okay. Where are you kind of like, well, life isn't happening, so therefore I'm not going to happen either. Where have you kind of like shut down? Where are you kind of a little bit too apathetic? You know, Leo doesn't really like to be in that place where they are kind of like, oh, like you guys need something to be excited about. You guys need something to be fired up about. You know, that is the Leo way. That is the solar sun way, to shine light and brightness. And I get that for some of you, you're unable to access that brightness, that confidence in yourself, because I don't know, this isn't showing up in the reading, but I'm getting a distinct feeling that something didn't go your way. Someone did you wrong. That's why we have justice here. You were slighted. You were made fun of. You were made to feel less than. You were treated poorly. Or it doesn't have to be someone enacting these things against you, although it could be. Libra is always representing that 7th house of others. But it could also just be, you know, where did I try and it didn't work out? And I'm like, I feel like, ooh, this is a big feeling. I feel like kind of a joke. I feel like someone's treating me like a joke. I'm treating myself like a joke. Life is treating me like a joke. I'm not being taken seriously. And just generally things not working out. Where you wanted them to and where you tried really hard. You guys are fixed fire. You guys have that fixed determination and confidence to do things. And your energy is drained, is what I'm feeling. And so in response to that, you have shut down. That's what I'm getting. But November gives you this new clarity. It gives you this new, you're defending yourself. It gives you this new energy to fight from your own side. And it's giving you this answer. Like an answer is coming out, either because you're asking or because it occurs to you. That's always like the Pisces moon type of thing, which we'll talk about, like things coming out that were once kept in darkness. And from that, I know that you'll be seeing a turnaround here in November because you're getting clarity, you're getting answers, and you're getting justice. And for some of you, it's karma. So karma, justice is always like an ego thing. It's always like a human thing. How we go about making things, putting things back into balance are our human selves. But then karma is this more universal justice, right? This is not something that we can do. This is something that just happens. This is the universe policing. So you're getting both, you know, the universe is policing, but the universe is taking care of this, right? Where you feel forgotten, you actually aren't. And the universe also was like, why did they make you feel like a joke? I don't like that. So the universe is coming in to help, but also there's something happening here with other people and your communications with people who you're gonna get the answer. You're gonna get, and you're gonna come out on top. This is a victory month, and the victory doesn't have to be. It could be some people you're in court victory, but it's more of a mental victory and more of an emotional victory and a return to self, which we want. We want Leos to return to themselves. We don't need the sun setting on us. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about it. I know that was a big prologue. But this is the Four of Cups, right? This is what is happening. Whatever preceded this for you, however October, September treated you, or even the summer, you're just like, ugh, my emotional juju is gone because of the things that I've mentioned. Things aren't happening in life the way that I want them to. And you're in this place where you're so disempowered. You're pale. We don't want Leos to be pale. You guys are ruled by the sun. You're pale, you're under this tree, hiding from the sun. I'm going to talk about the sun a lot. And, you have these cups and you're like, fine. This is paltry, though. I'm Leo. I want this big thing. I want the dream. And the universe is like, okay, well, here's another cup. Here's another cup for your collection. And you're just not receiving. So let's talk about the dangers of being shut down briefly, because that's where that's the general Four of Cups message. It's like giving into boredom and dissatisfaction. And when we turn ourselves off from the universe, all of life is just, mirroring what you're doing, how you're thinking, how you're feeling. And when you shut yourself off because of what happened, whatever made you feel like a joke, I think that's what's coming up here, joke. Because Leos are so exuberant, it feels awful to be made to feel like a joke, right? That's like the cardinal sin against Leos. So whatever happened, you shut down. And so let's talk the dangers of shutting down. That is, then you don't let anything in. And so that is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is like the universe is trying really hard to rebuild you. You're trying hard to rebuild you. And you have an option to do that, but you're just like not. And you're choosing to stay stuck. And you're dissatisfied. For some of you, it's just literally boredom. Like, we don't want to be bored. Like, Leos don't want to be bored. Like, we need action. We need entertainment. We're that showmanship sign, and it's kind of like life is treating you like you're a backstage character, all right? You're not even on stage at this point, and you're like, oof. So you've shut down because of the situation, and the universe is like, oh, I see that, baby. And I'm trying to come in and give you these, cups, give you this emotional reaffirmation, emotional band-aid, and you're just so far gone. You're just so, like, about it that you can't even see how it's going to work out. You can't even see the cup coming in. You're like, whatever, okay. Apathy. Apathy is the most dangerous emotion because it is the lack of emotion, right? So my invitation for you, Leo, is where you were made to feel like this joke. And I'm taking on this Leo thing. I feel like you guys feel like this. Like, you guys are just like, So wherever happened to throw you off, why don't you just feel it? All right? So if something happened and you're like, I'm going to bulldoze forward or I'm just going to shut down, come out of that shell, come out of that place of apathy, come out of this place of the Four of Cups when you feel it. Just feel it. Okay? Feel it. That's the first thing. Now that you felt it, here's the Libra Justice card. And this is you coming back out. So Justice always focuses on those themes of making things right where they were wrong. And like I spoke about earlier, this is a more human interaction side of that deal. So the Justice card is coming in to balance the scales both karmically and in our world. So November sees this turnaround for you. And, for a lot of you, it doesn't mean that someone slighted you literally, like you literally were done wrong by a person, or that it could be. It could just be felt like you were done. It feels like you were done wrong by the world. Of course, the universe is always loving and always doing things for us, whether or not it feels that way. We don't know sometimes. But it's just this feeling of like, there's a reversal now. There's going to be a rebalancing where you were in this kind of holding pattern. That's also the Four of Cups, where you're just stagnant, okay? The Justice card sees things moving forward. It sees things going back into balance. And a Leo in balance is not one that is apathetic and upset. A human in balance is not one that is apathetic and upset. It's one that is filled with the optimism and the hope and knows that they're a freaking spirit, okay? And they're moving, they're important. So it's both rights being made wrong by a literal person, but also just bad being made good, shadow being made light, sadness being made happiness again. So that is a justice card for you. And she's holding the sword, she's holding the scales. So swords, and especially because we're ending off here with this Knight of Swords, there's an element of communication. There's an element of information coming out. This is the Moon card. There's an element of, we're going to put this back together by thinking our way through it. And, first we feel our way through it, and then we're going to think our way through it. And for some of you, it's just as simply as, I don't want this ever to happen to me again. I don't want to ever feel this way again. Or I really want this thing still, or I really want that person still. I want this feeling still. What are the ways that I can actually do that? And that's the grace of Libra. That is the grace of justice. It talks about how we can always throw things back into balance with the power of our own social wiles, of our own intellectualism, of our own ideas and concepts. So these are ideas percolating for how to put yourself back on track, back into balance. So that's always an invitation here with Libra. And then we have this Venus retrograde happening for everybody. So it's all about where can we recalibrate what value we feel about ourselves. I really feel like this is a self-oriented thing. I mean, Leo is that self-oriented sign in a way that we allow ourselves to shine. You guys shine first, and you guys teach the rest of us that we can shine as well. So it's a beautiful way that you guys are focused on self. And, this Libra idea, this Venus retrograde idea of where could we be valuing ourselves more? Where are the things that we have been letting into our life, the people, the money, the situations, the material that aren't valuing us anymore? And how can we recalibrate how we feel about ourselves? Venus is in Libra. It's all about value. It's all about self-worth and thinking through those things. And then here you are thinking through it. And you're doing it with, tremendous action, tremendous, nope. That ain't happening to me again. No way. So the Knight of Swords is always someone who is rushing in. So this could be both an internal processing of, I have this, I've rethought about it. It's like when you think about someone like a criminal show, and they have all these perpetrators, and they have pictures, and they're drawing arrows from here to here. It's like that feeling that could be how you feel in November of ugh, I'm gonna investigate what happened here. And then the Knight of Swords is seeing you charge forth. You have the verdict, you have the information coming out, you've had the communication, the talk with the other people, if this is a people-oriented thing, or this is an inward thing of you've realized something now about yourself because of what you've gone through, and that is filling you up now with this authority of self, trusting yourself, trusting the universe. Swords cards always come up to say, I need to trust what I'm thinking here. Also to be aware of what I'm thinking here, if the way I'm thinking is making me feel bad. But it's having the authority of ideas and the authority of your own intellect about what's happening and how it's going to turn out. So the end of November and in November, it kind of sees you returning to this confidence. And this confidence not based on flattery or good looks or people are being nice to you. It is confidence in yourself because you think about something different. You're smarter for having gone through this. You're stronger, more mentally agile for having gone through this. Now let's talk about this Moon card. The Moon card is this nice little counterpart to the Four of Cups. Because where the Four of Cups is also dealing with emotions, the Moon, that Piscean card, that water card, also deals with emotions. So where the Four of Cups is kind of shoving emotions away, not being too satisfied, and retreating from life in a way that is passive and unproductive, here we have you retreating from the world in the way that is productive. So along with feeling whatever you have not been feeling, along with feeling the Four of Cups, the Moon invites you to then really ruminate on it in a spiritual way. So this is taking time out to meditate, taking time out to pray, indulging in these more esoteric and occult and type of spiritual endeavors like we are doing here, and coming to an understanding of your emotions in that way. And the Moon is always more of a reflective type of card. So it's always speaking about being alone. But this is not being alone in the Four of Cups way where we are just shutting ourselves off. The Moon talks about being alone where we open ourselves up in a more spiritual way. So there's a nice little confluence here between head and heart and emotions and thought and action here. And all these things are going to kind of mix together to bring you back out of the shell. So what I prescribe here for you, Leo, is that This is kind of the same thing for Cancer, but there's a return to yourself, and there's a return to confidence. There's a return to knowing who you are, a return to feeling again, like you have the sun inside of you. And the sun and the moon are counterparts. There is no night without day. There is no ego and will without our emotions and our comforts and our security. So put that into check as well. Life is not always going to be this grand show, as shows here, whatever led you into the Four Cups. But during those down times, during the sad time, and we are productive about it with this moon card, and we really get curious about how to fix it or how to emotionally deal with it, and to just feel it and be mindful, that is when we can emerge anew, confident, having strength and authority and agency of how we are thinking and what is going on. And also for some of you, literally the moon card is just saying new information is going to be revealed to you. So where you thought things weren't going to work out, that person's not going to work out for me, that job's not going to work out for me, that idea, that business, that money thing isn't going to work out for me, stay tuned. The end of November, things coming out, information coming in, you could be surprised that, those things are going to work out. But if there's any inclination here that you are in a pause, that you are in a rest, that you are, in this holding pattern, do something productive with it. But do know that wrongs would be made right, dark would be made light. The universe is policing. Yeah, the universe is policing life, you. So there will be a balancing of the scale. So there will be a return to justice and fairness. Where you thought you would be made like the joke, now it has become, now you're the punchline. Bam. All right? All right, Leo, this has been my reading. Of course, if you need something more specific into what is happening with you personally, you can hit me up below for either that natal chart or the tarot reading. But until then, I will see you, Jesus, in December. Wow, the year is moving by fast. Okay, so enjoy, return to yourself, shine bright like the sun that you are, and know that everything will be made okay. Okay? Bye.